What's up, soil brothers and soil sisters? Today is Wednesday. Hope y'all are having an amazing day. What time is it? It is 11:42, 11:43 Eastern Standard Time, AM on a Wednesday. I hope y'all are having an amazing day. Um, Trying to pull up some stuff here. I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes to come in. We're gonna talk about a few things. One big thing, if you are catching the replay, hashtag replay, and don't forget to smash that thumbs up for us. That let the algorithm know maybe this is all right content. um, when you don't hit the thumbs up, the algorithm say, I don't know. Hey, the Sugar Shack, what's up, Mercy? I hope y'all are having an amazing day. I hope you are all safe. Hey, Kim, got bacon? Um, I was just live over on Facebook, just chit chatting for a little while, bring you up to speed on what's going on here at Black's Tropical, and share some encouraging words. Because there's a lot going on right now in the world, all over the place. You in Jacksonville's getting rough. Okay, I'm gonna start by saying first, say a prayer for the world. It's so much going on. It's hard to just say for Florida itself, but definitely say an extra prayer for Florida. Um, Nobody, and we shouldn't have to go through these storms, but it happened. Um, it is scary. It is scary. Just to be here in Savannah, Georgia, and watch this thing coming is scary. So, like, I keep texting my people in um, St. Pete. I'm like, y'all all right? You know, I don't want to be worrisome, but I don't want to not check on our people. So check on your people. Even if you haven't heard from your people, you haven't talked to them in a while, check on your people. Just send a message and say, hey, um, praying for y'all. Hope y'all are all right. They'll appreciate that. Trust me, they will. Prayers work. Um, if you are in the direct path or eye of the storm, or will be, I hope you evacuate it. Especially if you have kids and elderly people that depend on you to keep them safe. One thing I will say, which is my opinion, is if you have small kids, I hope you got your kids, at least got your kids out of there. Some people, I did hear of some people staying and they had young kids, and I think that is terrible. That's my opinion. Um, our job is to protect our kids and to make them go through something as tragic or as catastrophic as these storms are. I think that's terrible. Um, so I just hope and pray that you got yourself or at least your kids out to safety, because kids don't know the dangers of these storms. And we don't want to hear about kids. We don't want to hear about adults, people being swept away. We don't want to hear about your cars and your houses being swept away, but definitely that stuff can be replaced. We don't want to hear and see where your kids or your family members are being swept away because they wanted to stay. And we can't save this materialistic stuff, this house. We can't save the house. Um, these storms are powerful. So I just hope and pray that you all evacuated. I know traffic is a thing. I know people are running out of gas and it's just crazy out there on the highway. But you got to be smart here. You know, that storm is powerful, very powerful. And it's amazing to see the strength of these storms and how they can just rip a home off of its foundation, and that's all left is buckled up foundation, and it looked like nothing was ever there. So don't do that to yourself. You know, you being there is not gonna make this surge or this wind say, "Oh, somebody there. Let's not do this here." Just be smart and get out of there. For far as us here in Savannah, I have plenty of family in Florida that haven't been able to get out due to being not being able to get gas. Yeah, I heard somebody told me the other day that they were working on getting gas. It's crazy. As far as us here in Savannah, now this storm is gonna cut all the way across Florida. It's predicted to, hey, divine order, cut across Florida and basically come out on Orlando, Daytona Beach side. And we all have people all over Florida. So definitely say a prayer for them and check on them. Do I feel like we are totally safe here in Savannah? No, I feel like we are safer um, than what we were during Helene. We were prepared for Helene, but we didn't expect what we got from Helene. And that has taught me to look at these storms a little different. Um, Even though I see the path, which is unusual, you know, I'm not accustomed to seeing storms come out and go basically east or south. I'm used to seeing these tropical storms or hurricanes go up north, take a different pattern. So this is a new pattern I've never seen. Not saying it's never happened, but I've never seen it. So that make me a little leery about what's gonna really go on, and it make me want to prepare better. Um, Being 8 days without power for Helene, losing all of our food, um, not the source of our food, but we lost all of our food that was in our freezers. We do have freeze dried food and different things, um, but it was a miserable time, and it made me realize we need to do some things better. Sometimes you got to go through it to figure out that, okay, this is what I need to be doing. So having things like gas, making sure your safe spot is ready if you need to get in it, um, keeping medicine, water, your animals close by, and just being on top of things is important. So I was telling Bobby I feel better knowing that we are prepared. So if this storm decide to take a weird something, decide to do things differently from what they saying, um, I want to at least be prepared. Make sure we good on this end. We got more from Helene than what we thought we would get. We thought we were gonna get some rain and a little wind. We ended up with little to no rain and a whole lot of wind. So if we can make going through a power outage or anything a little bit easier or comfortable, more comfortable, that's what I want to do. At a time like now is rough because people have cleaned stores out. During Helene, that was our main way to be able to eat, is going to the store, getting what you needed if the store had power. Um, they basically cleaned out all the restaurants here because the few we had, you know, people had to eat. Gas, I'm sure, is like, I don't know what it could look like if things turn for the worse for us. So just making sure you cover yourself and tell your family, look, hey Tammy, make sure you fill your tank up today just in case. You know, tomorrow fill your tank up just in case. You'd rather be safe than sorry. Make sure you got your meds. Make sure you got stuff where you can get to it and not wait for something to happen. The sad part about here is we know the stores are low on inventory because of Helene. And then the strike, which made people buy all the toilet paper. Why do people buy all the toilet paper? Can somebody tell me that? Every time something happens and people go buy all the toilet paper, I'm like, why are they buying all that toilet paper? I'm still trying to figure out what memo we don't get, because I don't never get the memo to go and buy up all the toilet paper. But y'all folks be buying up all the toilet paper. Why? So now you want to prepare for a possible storm. It's not supposed to be bad here, but again, we want to be prepared. But you go to the store and they done cleaned out something, because people haven't figured out how to wipe their butts yet. I know, right? Like, there's a whole lot of clogged toilets around here or something, because they buy up all the toilet paper. Um, the strike happened that set us back from our stores being stocked, and they thought it was made outside the USA. Oh, I did hear that. And now this next storm is coming, Milton. And to be honest with you, I don't know. We don't know exactly what Milton gonna do. We didn't know what Helene was gonna do, and she took a big shift and showed us what we didn't think we would see. So my thing now is be safe, be careful, be alert, and be ready. Definitely don't go buy up all the toilet paper, because I don't know what it's gonna do for you, but make sure you got your water and your food and stuff stocked up for your family. The toilet paper thing is just weird. I was earlier out, I streamed and I talked about hormone imbalance and how our hormones get out of whack when things like this happen, because you are stressed out. Some people are depressed because they got to leave home. We eating all this different stuff because you own the road, and you just threw stuff in the car so you can get out of Dodge, and now you have to stop in trust restaurants and different places to be able to eat and feed your family. All these things are throwing your hormones all. Of course, you stressed, you out of balance, you away from home, you worried about what's going on, you depressed. It can be very emotional. What I did doing Helene was, I usually stop my wild yam cream on the 21st, and I don't start up again until the 1st of the month. But because I was going through a stressful situation, I started my wild yam cream early. Um, I started it, I don't know what day it was, but I just started it because I was stressed out and I was emotional. Once we got to a certain point, I like turned into a whole nutcase because I didn't want to throw our food away, even though I knew I had to, but it was a lot. So I said, I need to balance off my hormones. Um, so let me go ahead and start my wild yam again. Sometimes when the disaster strikes, stores are affected. Some shut down for long periods of time. Yeah. Um, if they aren't keeping extra toilet paper supplies stocked up in advance already, then they need to get it together. Like, we buy toilet paper like twice a year, but I don't know. Hey, Peaceful Dads, we buy toilet paper twice a year, but we don't have to go and buy 5, 6 big bundles from Sam's Club or something. We just buy one bundle from Sam's Club, and it lasts us a good 6, 7, maybe 8 months or so. So it's weird, but you definitely want to make sure you're taking care of yourself and your family, getting little things in order. We talked about hormone imbalance this morning because the hormones are off. Hey, J3, it's a trying time when you're trying to evacuate. It's a trying time, and we need to make sure we can keep ourselves grounded because people are crazy. Somebody cut me off. He didn't cut me off yesterday. He almost ran into me, and it made me mad, like, so fast. It made me so mad. I was like, and I was just sitting there Like I couldn't even talk for a few minutes. That wasn't yesterday. That was the day before yesterday. When he got out the car, he said, "I'm sorry." Something he said, and I said, I had a few choice words for him. Um, your dad evacuated. Good, good. I'm glad he got out of there. I had a few choice words for him, and he said, "Well, I said I was sorry. I ain't see you. I mean, first you doing like 70 in the parking lot." And I'm like, but this is a parking lot. Like, it could have been a child or an older person. Come on. And he was like, I said, I'm sorry. And I'm like, um, I said, this is a parking lot. And he said, well, I said, I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? I mean, dude, you just passed me like you was on a freeway and almost hit me. And um, I said, slow down. I said, you need to slow down because this is a parking lot. And he just went on running his mouth, and I just left. Yeah, I prayed for him. Because he definitely need prayers. But don't think about what some of these people on the highway going through. People are inconsiderate, self-centered, just mean and nasty, and it can get to you quick because just like you trying to get to safety, I am too. So you have to stop and say, okay, let me pray for this person. I gotta pray for myself, but I gotta pray for that person because some of these people, and I knew once I started getting emotional, I said I need to make sure I get my hormones in check because don't live in a hurricane. Can't imagine the stress from this. Yeah, it's stressful, and even with us. So Savannah is safe, pretty much. I know these storms. They can pretty much predict what they gonna do. Hey, Virginia Bushcrafter. They can pretty much predict what they're gonna do, but they not for sure. So that's why we feel like it's important for us to prepare just in case things get a little ugly for us. I know it's I don't think it'll be too bad, but I don't want to be caught out there like we were with Helene. Helene, they said, oh, we'll get a little rain and some wind, and we ended up with 80-mile-an-hour winds and no power for over a week. That was not fun. Even though we were okay, it was not fun. So now I want to always make sure we prepared just in case something happened. Again, this storm is taking a weird track that I have never seen um, in my adult life of paying the weather some attention. So is it gonna follow that path? I pray it do. That they say it's gonna go out in Atlantic and off. I'm praying it won't loop back around and gain more strength and come up the East Coast where I'm used to seeing them come up the East Coast. Um, but I'd rather us be prepared than say, oh, it's not gonna do this, and then it do it, and then we not prepared. So we should be okay showing possible rain unless okay, that's Peaceful Days, and I know she in. If it gets where it change and goes correct, I've got an open line and I'm only 3 hours away. Okay. Yeah, and let me tell y'all the beauty in community. It was 10 days with no electricity. Yeah, it ain't fun. I mean, it's doable. We were good. It was hot. Like now, we canned a few things. I was already scared of the canned food. Now, you really ain't got to worry about me opening them cans up. But our freeze dried food, we trust that more. We did cook on the grill um, for a few days before we left because we left and went to Utah on day 6, I think, of no power. We went to Utah, and we wanted to make sure like our sitter was comfortable because she was like, "Yeah, I'm coming because I need to get away from home." Um, so it's crazy. Like we were okay, but it was hot, which was uncomfortable. But it's doable. You know, look at these people in North Carolina where their entire life has washed away in front of their eyes. So we definitely couldn't complain. To throw away all that food we threw away, I would have much rather cooked all that food and fed I feel like we could have fed probably 90, maybe 75% of Savannah, but we had to trash it because it wasn't no good. That hurt. That hurt because we grew a lot of this food. You know, that was our year's worth of tomatoes. We probably had 6, 7 months left worth of pork. All that stuff went in the trash. I had medicine in there, sour sop, you know, but it's okay. I know everything happened for a reason and we'll bounce back. Um, I talked about evacuating if you have to. Do what you got to do. You know, no storm is worth staying home. I know, and I'm very. I'm gonna stay. I like staying home. I don't evacuate when it comes to these storms. Now, if I saw a Category 5 coming straight at us or something, I would. Um, did you see the video where people are standing in water with their grills cooking? No, I ain't see that. Um, if I saw a Category 5 coming towards us, we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna get out of here, no questions asked. You know, this stuff can be replaced. Home can be replaced, but our lives can't. So that's why it hurt to see when people stay to ride a storm out this strong and leave their kids, keep their kids at home with them. It's just hard. But all we can do is pray for them. Hey, Audrey, definitely say a prayer for them. It's a lot going on. We got fires out in the Midwest, in the western states, and these hurricanes out here, which you know gonna throw off tornadoes first. That's the scary part. Like the tornadoes for us, when Helene came, the tornado warnings were like back to back to back, 8, 9, 10. It'll siren go off for a minute, then it'll stop, and then 2, 3 minutes later it'll go off again. And I'm like, oh my God, these things ain't gonna never stop. So definitely pay attention. Like I said, get your safe space in order. Just know your safe space. I would say even Savannah and the Carolinas, just having your stuff in order, because if things change, you know it's gonna be a mad rush to try to get it in order. If you already there, you already there. As long as you got it in order, you already there. If you don't need to use these things, all you doing is putting it back up for when you do need it. That help ease some of your stress, a lot of your stress. Um, talk about we went to Utah on Wednesday, a week ago, right? Because today Wednesday. A week ago, we flew out to Utah. That was our last live. We was in the airport. I think that was our last live. We were in the airport, and of course, we didn't have power then. And I felt like crap because we were leaving home and leaving our animals with no power, but we left them in good shape with our sitter. Um, we went to Redmond, where we get our salt from. And if you come to like SoilFamily Expo or go to some of these homesteading events, 9 times out of 10 you'll see this product. So we did give away a lot of salt at SoilFamily Expo. We were invited out to Redmond to tour their facility and basically hang out with them for a few days. Oh my goodness. It's so much we got to say about this trip, or we can say about this trip because we were there and experienced it firsthand. Bobby kept saying, at this age, I didn't think it was nothing really I could do that I hadn't already done or wanted to do. He said, and then this trip was everything that I didn't know I wanted to do and never did. Play with horses. We went into a salt mine. Yeah. Helena made you get in order, right? We swim in a 65 deep cave or crater, natural spring crater. We were just being in the mountains. We went from below sea level to everywhere you look. It was a mountain there. It was amazing. The hot air balloon. Oh, I said, I've never seen a hot air balloon. Like, I was excited to see the hot air balloon from a distance and to get right up on it. I was like, a hot air balloon. Oh my God. I've only seen this on TV. Um, God, we did so much. We ate elk. We ate elk. Elk meat. We had never had elk, and the chef, we had a chef, Chef Sean from Redmond. He cooked for us the entire time. One day we did eat breakfast at Redmond store. They have 7 stores in the Utah area. But at dinner, I don't know what night it was. Hey, Fresh and Fire. Um, I don't know what day it was, but Chef Sean would do it. He would explain to us what everything was, and he said, "I made some elk chili," and we were just like, "You mean elk like meat chili?" So that's what it was, and we were like, "Okay, we got to try this elk meat because we've never tried it before, never had it before." It was so good. I was like, "Oh my God, we've been missing out all our life." Um, what I love about Redmond is everything is homegrown or locally grown and fresh. Like the salads were so fresh. Um, the meat was so fresh. The hamburger, like everything was so fresh. I was like, we can't go back. We gotta do better. But all the experiences, like it just felt good being there and amongst so many amazing people. We met some amazing people. Y'all will meet them um, over the next few weeks or months or so. We'll collab with a lot of these people. The only person I knew when we got there was the Honeystead. I love the Honeystead. Callie, her channel is the Honeystead here on YouTube. She can be found on Facebook also. But I love watching her. She is a herbalist and a beekeeper, a mom, a wife, a daughter, a granddaughter, a farmer, all the above. But her knowledge, like I've been watching her for a long time. Elk chili, it was good. It kind of reminded me of beef, and it kind of reminded me of steak and hamburger all in one. Like it had almost like a steak texture, but a ground beef texture too. It was real soft. It was crazy, but it was real good. I was like, "Can we buy elk in Savannah, in Georgia?" They were like, "You probably can. Somebody might be sourcing it from somewhere." I'm like, "Cause I need some of that in my life." But Kaylee, the Honeystead, is her channel. She is a herbalist and a beekeeper. It was nice to meet her. We met her at HOA, or we went into one of her talks about bee swarms at HOA. But this was more like a personal, intimate setting because it was only a few of us, and we all got to know each other. Spent a lot of time together. Like we went swimming in the cave with Kaylee and her daughter, which was fun. But then we met a lot of other incredible people, and I won't name them because I can't think of all. I can't think of who all have a YouTube channel. I think it's just one more person with a YouTube channel. Um, but anyway, we'll introduce y'all to them soon. But the people alone were amazing. Like y'all, we had some real conversations. We we had 2 Sprinter vans, and it was 2 groups of us in each Sprinter van. In our van, um, the good thing is, I said this is a real vacation because I didn't have to cook. I ain't had to think about what we were gonna eat. I ain't have to drive. Bobby ain't had to pump gas. All we had to do was take a shower and be outside at the van at a certain time. We stayed at a beautiful resort. It was amazing. This resort had some of everything. They had a milk house where you could get coffee. They had a smokehouse where you could get smoked meats and food or whatever. They had so much stuff. They had a crater where you could go swimming in a natural spring was like 90 degrees, naturally warm crater. It was amazing. Um, Bobby was like, I ain't swimming in that thing at first, but he was the first one in it. Ask me how that happened. I don't know. Um, but in the van, you thinking you might. We rode. It took us 2.5 hours to get to the salt mines from our resort. And you thinking you in a van with a bunch of strangers, y'all just gonna ride. I thought we'd probably just go to sleep because that was when we could catch up on some rest. We were so busy talking and sharing information with each other. It was like a bunch of little kids in the van. It like that entire trip, talking to the CEO, seeing how the company is run, meeting the employees. We toured the entire facility, a whole bunch of them, the cow pastures, the where the chicken fields, um, the milk house where they milk the cows. Like we saw so much. The packing houses where they bringing the salt out the mine, how they crush it, and just everything, which made us realize exactly how important this salt is to us. And I always say, not all salt is created equal. I just started watching Honeystead. She know her stuff. Yeah, she do. She do. And she be so excited to share. Even with us, wasn't nobody filming. We were in the van riding while I was filming out the window because I couldn't get enough of the mountains. Me and Bobby kept filming the mountains, but nobody was filming each other talking. Man, we were talking about some stuff. Like we were talking about moonshine, making moonshine. And one of the girls said she used a raccoon penis. And we were like, what? Wait, what? And she was like, yeah, you just, she was telling us how she used it. And I'm like, I got to look this up because that's weird. She said, I get them off Etsy. So we looked it up. Bobby would swim with sharks, but not in a crater. Exactly. Exactly, Audrey. So, but it was deep. It's like 65 feet deep. So I kind of understand. But I had to look up this raccoon penis because that was interesting conversation. I was like, "Hey, Auntie," I said, "This looked like something a moonshiner would use as a toothpick." As a toothpick. But we learned something. Hey, look, fresh and fire. We learned something new. I had never heard of it, and I'm just like, Bobby said, "Well, I just use." Gotta switch mics. My mic went dead. I was saying, yeah, my sound went out. Sorry, y'all. Um, and I don't know how this thing. Well, I know it sounds clear because Bobby used it. Can you hear me now? Okay, I'm good now. Um, the conversations we had with all these other homesteaders alone, just traveling from one place to the next, was amazing. Like it was crazy. We learned how to take care of animals. Like our animals need salt. So you know what I'm gonna give the rabbits, the dogs, the chickens? I'm gonna put a little piece of salt or some Soleil water in their buckets so that they can get salt. This is how you get healthier animals. Just like we need salt. When you go to the doctor and they say you gotta cut the salt out. Yeah, you do, because not all salt is created equal. So you do have to cut the salt out. Um, but when you have a healthy salt that's not being played with or tainted. We need this. We need the minerals and the nutrients in this block, which is just salt. Um, some people had. That's why they like to lick your hands because they're getting the salt out of it. And see, animals know how much they need of anything. So just like when you put oyster shells out with your chickens, they'll only eat what they need. They're not gonna eat them all just because they're there. They'll eat what they need when they need it. Same thing with the salt. They will lick the salt rocks if and when they need it. Um, we need the salt. We need the minerals that's in it. So not all salt is created equal. That's why it's important to know where it's coming from and how it's being produced. That was the blessing in going to Redmond and seeing all of this. We know that this salt was supposed to come from an ancient mine that is protected by bentonite clay, which is the volcano ash, which is good for you also. And Bobby gonna do a couple courses with y'all and go in depth about salt. We started using Celtic salt because we heard great things about it. It's supposed to be good for you. Then we went to Redmond, and they didn't say anything bad about Celtic salt. But I guess when you pay attention, like Bobby and I did, you hear certain things that don't make sense. So Celtic salt come from this Selena. What is it called? Selena. They said, yeah, well, we know Selena. We good friends. Celtic has been here and toured our facility, but they don't allow people to come to their facility. But Redmond was like, I don't have anything to have. We don't have anything to have. So yeah, they've come and checked out our facility. It's just salt. But yeah, they won't let us come to theirs. That's kind of a red flag. Like you keep people out for, you know, I know it's competition, one thing, but okay. But then I was like, wait a minute, North Carolina? Because I didn't know Celtic salt came from North Carolina. And a lot of this is my fault because I didn't read the back of the package. I just trusted the source. Not saying that Celtic salt ain't good for you. Now it's just where's this sourced and how is it produced? That's my question. And when I heard it was, oh, this is produced in North Carolina, I'm like, how? And it's in the flood area where all the damage was. Huh? Like, so I need to do a lot of research. I got a lot of questions because I want to know where this come from. So I kind of put it on the back burner, and on the back of it, it does say North Carolina. So earlier, somebody on Facebook said most Celtic salt come from France. Most Celtic salt come from France. Okay, so basically, maybe my Celtic salt came from France. Maybe yours came from North Carolina. Is that a big deal, or should it be a big deal? It should be. All real salt come from Utah. So where most Celtic salt come from North Carolina, I mean France, all real salt come from Utah. Maybe it's imported and processed. So that's what I think, they importing it and processing it in North Carolina. I still didn't the advertising say something about the seas for what's that for the Celtic salt? Yeah, table salt ain't good for you. So because I got so many questions now about the Celtic salt, we just stopped using it for now. We just put it on the back burner. I imagine it could be sourced anywhere near an ocean. Yeah. So that's the thing. Like going to Redmond's and seeing exactly how real salt is. And I just dropped one of them. I dropped my kosher salt behind the thing. I can't get it. Um, Learning about Redmond's. And then some people had problems with us licking the walls. I was telling my friend the other day, I said, look, I said, you know, they use salt to cure meat. She said, yeah, my daddy used to eat that ham. I said, and what they do is they put so much salt on it, and then they hang it outside in a protected area where it won't rain on it, but it's getting air. It don't keep the flies off of it. I said, but the salt protect it from bacteria and germs while it's curing. So us licking these walls did nothing to it. I said, but it's all salt. This rock, I got a bunch of them, is the same thing as what's in this package. They exactly the same. All the only difference is this is one big rock and this is grinded up. I got a kosher over here. The only difference in the kosher redness are the grains are a little bit bigger. That's it. This is salt. This came directly out of the mine. I could grind this up and I would get this, meaning they didn't add anything to this or take anything out of it. They didn't add anything to this and didn't take anything out of it. We got a bunch of information on all these different salts and what you should look for when you purchasing salt and what you should not get. Yeah, Redmond's, you know, this is our go-to for everything. So I even substitute, instead of using the Celtic salt right now, we using all Redmond's, even kosher salt. This won't run your blood pressure up. It's not the salt that run your blood pressure up. It's the agents that they use in the salt. They will deplete salt like Morton's and all of them is white. They'll deplete it of all of its nutrients and minerals and add an anti-caking agent or some crazy stuff to it. We're going to go in details and show y'all exactly what they add to it and exactly what that means. You don't want anything that's going to hurt you or harm you or your family. A lot of the salts and seasonings and different things that we use, they do just that. But because they don't have to put certain things on the label, we don't look at it as deep as what we should. This is just salt. We couldn't go in a clean room because it's the clean room. But their clean room is wide open. So when you go in the warehouse, they have some engineers outside on the computers, but then they have this clean room and it'll tell you when you get ready to go in a clean room that if you have a cell phone, you got to do certain things to it. You got to cover everything up, cover yourself up. You go in a clean room and that's where they package this. They bring the salt out of the mine. They crush it up, whether it's going to be fine, kosher, or whatever, or the licks for the animals, whatever kind of salt they bringing out, they get it to the size they need it. They put it in big 3,000-pound bags, and then it go over, and it's all in one facility, one space. It go over to the packing facility, which is where the clean room is. They put it in the Harper, and then they put it in this thing. They ain't add nothing to it. All right, Peaceful Dads. They added nothing to this. So this is why this will not run your blood pressure up. But other salts can because of the agents or whatever they're using to put in that. Where do y'all usually buy big bags of Redmond like that? Online. Yeah. So the big bags, you can get them online up to 25 pounds, I want to say. We do have a link. Let me drop this link. If you use our link, you can get 15% off of your entire order. Whatever you order, you can get 15% off. They also have a bentonite clay, and we'll go over the benefits of that. I use the clay basically to what I do with it is I'll do like a mask for Bobby when we having a spa day or something. It do come in smaller, but of course I wanted the big one. It do come smaller, and I'm gonna tell y'all what I'm gonna do with this. What we normally do with is I'll do a face mask for us every now and then because it'll help detoxify the skin, pull the junk out. I also put like a half a cup or so in the tub when I'm taking a bath because it detox the body and pull heavy metals out. What I did not know, first of all, I did not know you could eat this clay. Where my book at? I did not know you could eat. Okay, no mic time. Y'all can hear me now? Sorry. Me and these mics gonna fight. I like the mics because they so clear, but I need to charge them. I keep them in my pocketbook. Back on now, but low. Yeah, that's why I like my mics. Um, Eating clay. I was like, we can eat. We can eat this. I said, so you are you telling me I can put a certain amount of this in my Soleil water? He said, yeah, you can. We're gonna talk about it. We eat clay and wear it too. So, and it was little things like, you ever see the pictures or videos of the elephant rolling around in the clay mud or out in the clay? Smart, smart. So yeah, I and I said when I go home, I'm gonna make some. I'm gonna make some of this bentonite clay, and I'm gonna keep it in the refrigerator. So if we ever have uh, yeah, a lot of ladies in my family like eating Georgia clay. Yeah, a lot of people like eating clay. And one of the girls said when she was little, I forgot what she said she grew up at. She kept eating the ash and the clay, wherever she grew up at. Yeah, eating clay. They said it's healthy, and I'm like, what? So then they showed us a bunch of pictures of people with um like a wound if they burned themselves or had a rash or somebody had skin cancer and had a spot removed. um Somebody fell off a treadmill and had the burn from the treadmill on their entire leg. Somebody stabbed themselves with a screwdriver by mistake. And what they did was they just added, I add distilled water to my clay. Distilled water and clay, mix it up, and they keep it in the refrigerator. So if you ever get a wound or rash or something, all you do is smear clay on it and it'll clear up. Of course, it'll dry. You wash it off every day and then you just reapply it and it healed. Um, exactly. Like natural healing. And I was like, oh, I never thought of that. So they were like, yeah, whenever you have a sore or a wound or something, all you need is this bentonite clay, which is just ash from the volcano, and that's what protect the salt. The salt is under this thick layer of clay. So this is why what make Redmond so different from everybody else. Most salts are produced at the surface, on the surface, um, and they out in these drying tanks where they letting it evaporate, and that's where they getting the salt from, but then they leaching the magnesium and other nutrients off of it. Redmond is bringing theirs out of a mine that's protected and grinding it up and putting it in a bag and sending it to us. So that make me look at everything so much more different. Hey, Karen, um, where our products coming from and how is it being produced? Um, what are they doing to it? It made me feel real good to not only just be invited to Redmond to meet some amazing people, but to find out about this product. They had nothing to hide from us. Good, good. They had nothing to hide. They would say, y'all feel free to film wherever you want to film. Um, ask questions. We were walking around talking to the employees, and some of them were like, "Oh my God, I didn't know y'all was gonna be here," but and they would tell us about their job. What I really love is they don't hire you for a specific position. Like they would probably want to hire me for customer service or something because I love to talk. But then once they hire me for customer service and they find out that there are other skills, like I love herbs, I love to cook, or I love this, that'll be your job. Like they don't hire you for the chef. Chef Sean was hired as the graphic designer, but he the chef. He doesn't do graphic designing. So they don't hire people for positions. They find what you love and they that's your job. What suits you or what fits you well. Um, it's amazing. It's amazing. So, um, I use pink Himalayan, Celtic, Redmonds. A woman on YouTube did a chemical analysis of all three. Redmonds lack several mineral components. Try Hawaiian red salt. I use clay for mass. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like I think when you go to the facilities and you see how these things are produced and what's really going on, they tell a big story of what people coming up with. Sometimes people just want to say stuff just to have something to say, or so they can go against the grain. Um, do Redmonds really lack all these chemicals? I mean the components, the minerals that we need. At right now I'm gonna say no. Um, and I'm gonna say no because of what my health is doing since we have changed from pink Himalayan to Redmond. Now we did use Celtic salt for a while because we thought this was something great, a great product to use. We stopped using Celtic about 2 weeks ago, about a week and a half ago. We stopped using Celtic. Um, and our bodies feel so good at this point. Now we have changed our lifestyle some. Like we eat mostly meat and beans right now. We've been doing that for a little while, mainly meat and beans. But this is the only thing we've been using. When it comes to if we need seasoning, we definitely need salt. So we've been consuming a lot of salt here lately, especially while we were up in Utah. Like they fed us. We used their products. Everything was Redmond to try it out. And even today, like I feel like I want to sleep, but that's because of the time difference, and we've been doing a whole lot. But Georgia white clay and chalk. Um, Other than that, our bodies are responding really, really well to this. No cramps, no headaches, no high blood pressure. I mean, of course, we did change our diet, but Redmond's is still there. With all these other salts, the agents that they using and the things that they doing, are depleted of magnesium and whatever they doing, that's the weird stuff. So even with Celtic, again, I'm not saying Celtic is bad, but I don't know. Are they sourcing this from France and then repackaging it here? And what are they doing? Because people are so into all about money, they could care less about our health. So they add stuff to things that will hurt us over time versus I'm just going to use a natural product that's coming straight from the earth because that's where all our stuff should come from. All our meds. Somebody told me earlier, yeah, I'm on hormone replacement therapy. I got hormone replacement here. It's called wild yam. It's all natural. It's a plant. This is where it started. Man took that plant and said, hey, people need this because they have hormone imbalance and we can get them straight with this. But we can't do this naturally. It costs us too much money to produce this plant, this herb, and keep the world hormone imbalance free. So we can take this and make a synthetic wild yam and sell it as a hormone replacement therapy. And then we can cure, and we can't cure, but they can treat the entire world. They making money with it, and then the side effects are crazy when it can be something natural as a wild yam cream versus hormone replacement therapy that make you feel like some days and make you feel like crap some days. You can't really afford it and whatever they got going on. Um, we got to start looking deeper into things that we consume and give our family because this is why the world is starting to be so sick. Like everybody's suffering with something: cholesterol, diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, migraines. Some people just have hormone imbalance. Some people are just mean because they consuming too much stress. These stressed out animals and stressed out meat and stressed out plants, and so it's a lot to think about. We got a whole lot to talk about. That's going to be Bobby's class for the most part. But we will go in depth about salt. We got a lot of videos. We are starting to post them. We got a really long video that we need to post. But it's a lot of detail there that is very, very important. Again, it's hard to trust everything everybody say because people can be weird. Um, it is important to do our own research and everything. Oh, maybe I ain't even dropped the link. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me drop it now. It's important to do research and everything. That way we can know for ourselves. Like I can't say that the minerals are, or the nutrients are not there in Redmond because I didn't see anything they were doing to take them away. Um, did this person really get it tested to see what was going on? I don't know. Um, retreated and left salt deposits, old seabeds underground. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do some Celtic research today so I know exactly what's going on um with it. I know with Redmonds, I know that that's coming from Utah. I know this is coming from a mine in Utah. I know I can't get real salt from a package store, a store that source this salt and package it in Georgia. I have to get this from Utah. I can order it on Amazon, but it's still coming from Utah. We toured their Amazon fulfillment center. It's on Redmond's property. So all of their salt is coming from there, where some salt is just like, yeah, some of it is coming from here, or they sourcing it from here, and then they packaging it over there. I'd rather deal with somebody that's doing it all in the same area. But then again, it's a lot of research to find out a lot of this information of what's going on. So um, I have my pain away. I was wearing a brace and walking. I could not walk without that back brace. Now I can walk without the back brace. Look at God. Look at God. Hey, family man. Um, so glad to see you back. Yes. Trust that God will replace everything that the devil has stolen from you. Absolutely, Loris. Absolutely. We have no my Celtic salt is from France as I am in Europe. That is fine. Yeah, our Celtic salt say North Carolina, but I'm sure it came maybe from France. I don't know. But that's a little weird to me. So mine say North Carolina. So I don't know. But that's weird. I'd rather have a product that I know exactly where it came from. I know overseas things can be a lot more pure and better for us because y'all they don't allow certain things in y'all products in different countries. In the United States, eh, it's all about money and health is like on a back burner. So sadly, but all right, y'all. Again, if you are in the path of Milton, please be safe. Please be smart. Do not worry about materialistic things that can be replaced. Definitely save yourself and your family. And save your family of heartache and headache because it's stressful when these storms roll up and then we lose connection with our people. Because I was worried about our people, and I ain't talking about like my mom or my brothers or my in-laws. We were worried about our friends that we have connected with through social media, like Justin Rhodes and the Holtz and Bree and all the Fit Farmer. We were worried about them because they are out in the mountains in North Carolina, and we wanted to make sure they were okay. But the lines of communication were cut off. Um, if they had known it was going to be that bad, there's no doubt in my mind that they wouldn't have made sure they didn't lose connection or at least put the family in safer um, position during this storm. But nobody saw this Helene coming the way it did. So I'm in Florida and so tired of being stressed. Yeah, it's stressful. Um, I know Psalms. I know. Um, but we are supposedly in a safe spot when it comes to Milton, but we are gonna make sure we have gas, enough water, and all of our stuff prepared just in case things look weird to us all of a sudden. Because again, there is a predicament, but there's a chance that things may shift and do different things. And I just want to make sure that we are all safe and prepared just in case things look different. We seeing things that we ain't never seen before. I definitely ain't never seen it. But they seeing things they said they hadn't seen in over 100 years. Um, so it's kind of hard to just sit back and say this is what it's gonna be and it's gonna be all right. Definitely prepare yourself keeping your things charged up. Somebody sent us a bunch of these chargers. We needed them. We were looking for them doing Helene and couldn't find them. We have other battery packs. Leah Farmer sent Bobby a Energizer, so we have the battery packs. But we wanted these little portable. I can throw them in my pocketbook and we can go. But we couldn't find them nowhere. And somebody, one of our followers, sent us a whole bunch of these, so we won't be without power. So that's a blessing. Not prepared. Yeah, yeah. Got it together. Yeah, that Helene taught us some things we needed to do. So definitely keep Florida and the East Coast because we don't know Georgia, um the Carolinas, Virginia. Keep them in your prayers. But definitely Florida right now because they are going through it. Definitely the Carolinas out in the western side of the Carolinas and Tennessee. Now there is a fire out west also, so it's a lot going on. Prayers do work. Um, we can feel prayers. I know y'all pray for us because we could feel it. Um, but definitely pray for those in these storms path because it's getting ready to get ugly out there. And we don't want nobody to be caught off guard. So thank y'all for watching. If you are not hit the thumbs up, please hit the thumbs up for us. If you're not following us, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. We love to have you. We have these conversations all the time. We got some fun stuff coming up. And we don't need y'all help through the fun stuff, but we don't want y'all to miss it either. We are rebounding. We have still no complaints of what what took place with Helene. We are blessed because we still have a roof over our head. The lights are back on. The refrigerators are empty, and we will start from ground zero, um, and bounce back as time go on. But y'all prayers definitely work. We feel it all the time, and we appreciate it. So don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. And don't let nobody steal your joy.